It's opening weekend here in the USL Championship, and that means opening weekend here at Taft Stadium. OKC Energy opening up against Colorado Springs Switchbacks here tonight in our match presented by SSM Health, St. Anthony's of Oklahoma City. Happy to have you with us. I'm Chris Bukovic, alongside me the former MLS champion coach, Thomas Rongen. And Thomas, looking at two sides, did not make the playoffs last year, trying to get off on the right foot here in 2020.
Absolutely, and the onus is on the home team. New head coach John Pasquarello has told us we want energy, and yeah, they are called the Energy. He brought in some players that can do some damage up front, and this should be a great matchup to start the season for the OKC.
And looking at now our player to watch, presented by SSM Health, St. Anthony's of Oklahoma City. Tommy Chavez, one of many players coming over from Fresno FC.
Yeah, and Chavez is a well-traveled man in the USL, played for Miami a few years. I've seen him up close. He's strong, he's mobile, he can bring other players in. I expect him and Lopez to do some damage for this team. And as you can see, 12 goals last year for Fresno. John Pasquarello expects him to be the big man up front for the Energy.
Also looking at the number 9 on the other side for Colorado Springs, as it is Christian Valesky coming in as a sort of really veteran for the Switchbacks.
Yeah, it's interesting to see 6'1". There he is, lanky. He's crafty as well, good in the 18-yard box, a clinical finisher. He's proven that throughout his career, both in college and in the USL. And again, Valesky needs to hold the ball up to get Daniels Luna involved in the attack for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks and their new head coach, Alan Kosh.
Valesky, 40 career goals in the USL. We'll see if he can add a couple here today. The Switchbacks doing battle against OKC Energy. Both sides trying to remedy things here in 2020. We'll see if they can do that here tonight from Taft Stadium. Switchbacks and Energy, they do battle coming up next.
Success is achieved through hard work, and many business owners work tirelessly for years to realize the dream of franchising their business. FFB partners with companies of all sizes every day and offers an extensive variety of treasury services. FFB will outline a plan just for you, help you streamline cash flow, and monitor your business transactions. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
You're about to witness a momentous occasion. Introducing the power of a better cloud, brought to you by Cox Business Cloud Solutions with rapid scale technology. And the migration is complete. IT professionals are thrilled, because when seemingly nothing is happening, everything is happening. Introducing Cox Business Cloud Solutions with rapid scale technology, the power of a better cloud.
As a private contractor, I didn't realize contacting Okie 811 before digging was my responsibility. I know there are utility lines buried everywhere, and I understand that damaging these lines could be costly or have potentially devastating consequences. From small digging, even with a shovel, to bigger jobs, the contractor must contact Okie 811 and wait the required time for those lines to be marked before starting the work. For every job, big or small, start your project with one call and simply dial 811.
Welcome back. Energy with a 2-0 advantage. The 6th minute of action. Now would be a great time to announce the new healthcare partner of the OKC Energy. It's SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony.
Welcome back here into Taft Stadium, getting set for OKC Energy against the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, presented by SSM Health, St. Anthony's of Oklahoma City. With that, as they progress out, we'll take a look at our starting 11s today, presented by First Fidelity Bank, proud founding partner of Energy FC. And Thomas, we start with the home side, OKC Energy.
Yeah, a very, very simple 4-4-2 that can work well. Look at Atletico Madrid, Chavez and Dunwell up front. Obviously, Harris, the experienced player in the back. Cochran in goal. Lopez and Ward on the outside, giving you some width and crosses. Very solid team, OKC Energy, in their first game at home.
Yeah, and already you can see the influence from Fresno, some LA Galaxy 2 in there as well for head coach Pasquarello. On the other side, for Colorado Springs, a lot of unknowns as well, some new talent in there. We mentioned Valesky, but beyond that, we're going to learn a lot about the squad here today.
Yeah, I mean, Anderson, the number 2, is huge in the back for them. Melvin has stepped up and said, this is my position as a starting goalkeeper. I look for Lewis to provide that width on the right side. Daniels underneath Valesky, the number 9, will play high and lead the line and allow Luna to play underneath. Again, a very simple 4-4-2 and a diamond midfield.
Kurimo to the number 8, a very successful player with Honda FC over in Japan, and a great season with Fresno. Now he's the captain of the Switchbacks under Alan Kosh here in 2020. Getting set now for kick here from Taft Stadium, and everything now on the line. We're starting 2020 off with OKC Energy and the Switchbacks. OKC in their newly unveiled black kits, moving from left to right, Switchbacks right to left, and we're underway here from Taft Stadium 2020. And it'll be OKC that gets us going here to start this new season. A little bit more about their kits. Those are the 25th anniversary kits for the OKC bombing, a partnership with Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum, honoring the tragedy that claimed 168 lives. And now with the whites on the other side, and a good look at Alan Kosh. Now in his first full season, you could say second season, as he took over the job in September.
Oh, it's a great atmosphere. Those first games are big. My first game in 1979, the LA Aztecs at the New York Cosmos, 60,000 people. Turf, by the way, just like at OKC. I know what the coaches feel like, but first game in MLS, I coached as well. The nerves are there. You want to go on the front foot if you're the home team and get a good result. Whereas Colorado Springs will be happy just to maintain, press a little bit, which they've done early on right here, and get themselves into the game. Narrow field, turf, not the greatest, but very playable, and the wind can play a factor, which is really right now behind Colorado Springs and against OKC.
It was a little interesting talking to Alan Kosh this week. He said actually he really prefers playing on the road for the opener, where he can really tinker with things and not have too much pressure on his side.
Well, that's a great comment. Anytime the MLS season came out, or when I went to an Under-20 World Cup, you like to get a game on the road.
Early opportunity rolling in, and an easy save on the skip for CJ Cochran, getting his first start back here in his second stint with OKC.
Yeah, Kurimoto stepping up out of his midfield position with that great lethal left foot that he has cultivated. And you can hear the wind is howling right now.
Over to Ellis Hayden, the right back. Another new face for OKC, his former teammate and current teammate. Vasiljevich will win the foul, and a free kick to OKC.
Yeah, Serif's just coming in hard, really. In those situations there, it's more important if you can just hold somebody up, let him play a negative pass. He's not facing your help. On the other hand, you want to make a little bit of a statement as well. Both coaches talked about emotion. Both talked about being aggressive. And it doesn't mean kicking people, but just being on the front foot, being mentally and physically imposing.
Over the top, headed on, and this will come back.
Yeah, the offsides. Anderson, a good job there by just squeezing up a little bit and forcing Chavez in particular in an offsides position. Very good. When you get experience in the back, you can read passes quickly, you can step, communication becomes important.
Ball knocked on, but the chest a bit too far there, as we saw the first touch for Luna.
Yeah, Luna on the left side really likes to go forward. He's small, he loves to get in 1v1 situations and switching the point of attack, as you can see right there. Lebesi trying to go out wide, find the isolation, and see if Luna can go 1v1 against Ellis Hayden.
OKC trying to build out of the back. More of a counter-attacking look in 2019, but under new head coach John Pascarella, coming over from Minnesota United, where he was the assistant and, of course, also a former goalkeeping coach at Sporting KC. Now OKC on the attack. They try to build ahead. Haven't seen too much success in the first 4 minutes in the opponent's half.
Nerves play a huge factor. You know, both sides brought in a lot of new players. And yes, you've played preseason, but it's just not the same. The pace of the game all of a sudden is faster. You got to get your feet ready.
Daniels, the Ontario native, a shot and saved again by Cochran, his second already.
And that's where Colorado Springs really feels they can have some momentum here with Daniels on that left side, Luna as well, trying to isolate Harris maybe in a 1v1 and get behind him.
Daniels, the former homegrown signing with Toronto FC, spent 3 years with TFC2 and now finding his way out west with the Switchbacks. And one area Pasquarel, as a former goalkeeping coach, really wanted to remedy was the goalkeeping situation. He saw a lot of value in Lorendi, but unfortunately, he didn't really see too much depth at that position. Brought in CJ Cochran from Fresno, a player he scouted while he was at Minnesota United. And then, of course, Kyle Ina as well, who saw a few appearances with Lansing Ignite in USL League One.
Like that they go with somebody that cares about this club, about the city. That's where John is from, obviously. I think that's very important, and he emphasized that as well. They're proud. They made changes, obviously, and I think they're going to be a much improved team. Although in the first 5 minutes, I got to give Alan Kosham credit. He's pressing high with his team on the road and try to force the mistakes and take the game to the home team.
Here's Daniels again, losing it though on the touch. Here comes Hernandez.
Hernandez, so small, so tricky. He reminds me a little bit of Rodolfo Pizarro that plays for Inter Miami. Small in stature, always available, comfortable under pressure. That's important.
Ellis Hayden tiptoeing down the sideline. Player that certainly likes to get up the field. Being held back.
Yeah, interesting to watch. Those are the matchups I think out wide. They're going to be so important. Be it Lewis against Stevens on one side, be it Ellis Hayden against Luna or Daniels on the other side as well. And as you can see right now, they're forcing those fullbacks to stay home, which is good for the traveling team right now. They're compact. They don't allow any penetration balls. There's always pressure on the ball, doubling, and make it hard right now for John Pasquarel to play out of the back, although they're doing a pretty good job right now maintaining position and drawing the foul.
Foul there now as Hernandez takes a tumble, the former RSL Academy man, and of course with LA Galaxy 2 last year.
Yeah, you like to see Hernandez, Chavez, Lopez link up. You know, they're similar in style in terms of size as well. Mobile players, smart.
Sebastian Anderson, the throw-in, youngest homegrown signing in Rapids history, and being loaned on over to the Switchbacks as they have an affiliation going in recent years.
And the premium that John Pasquarel also put on goalkeepers being good with their feet. And since they want to play a possession style and take it to the opponent, it's so important. It all starts with CJ Cochran and Melvin on the other side too. Most teams now like to play, saying that both teams out of a full 4-2, which is not a used system anymore. It's more 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 straight up. With provided.
Skips on by into the final third. Luna the cross in, back post, and it's worked out of play.
And a little call there by Valesky that felt he was held there by the experienced Harris that's been around the block a little bit. Remember the days when he played for FC Dallas, there he get a good ball in actually, and that's where they've been successful, his left side. There goes Valesky and his
goal kick now for OKC, and they'll build it out of the back again. Comes Harris stepping up, wearing the captain's armband here today.
Yeah, his experience is so important, but also, I mean, you talk about converted striker into midfielder to a center back right now. If there's one guy that's comfortable in the ball, probably it's Harris. That's where you can start the attack. But again, credit to Colorado Springs by pressing early and not allowing the home team to establish any kind of rhythm.
So far, OKC Energy not really able to get to the final third. Maybe they will here. Quick run down the center of the field to the outside. Ellis Hayden, the right back up. Cross in. Chavez didn't get all of it, and barely it stayed in play.
Great penetration by Lopez, the number 11 as well. You see Lopez and such a good player in terms of drawing a crowd and a good first-time ball in. And Chavez would like to get this one back. What a good look. Drive at that back four, force them to collapse, go out wide, and then play the ball across. And then you're going to make hard runs inside of the 18. Well done.
Dunwell takes it in, former Houston Dynamo draft pick. That works straight out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in at midfield. Head official for tonight's action, Eric Tattersall, overseeing things as we get it rolling again from the Colorado Springs half. Here's Jordan Burt, one of the mainstays at the Switchbacks over the years, spent the last 5 years there in his Switchbacks uniform. Nearly 150 appearances. Lewis getting the ball, Jamaican international. 4 appearances at the Gold Cup last year. This ball over the top, down the right wing. Labisi will work it out for a throw-in despite not being able to get there. Stevenson will take it on.
Actually a smart play. He knew he was not going to catch it in order to maybe find a corner. So instead of getting a goal kick, you know what? We squeeze right there. It's a throw-in. Look at the numbers and let him play through pressure.
Tucker Stevenson at the left back spot, another new addition for OKC. Spent 2 years at West Virginia, 2 other years at Loyola Chicago. Of course, at Des Moines Menace in 2017. That's how he was able to meet Pascarella.
Yeah, that's why it's such a
quick run the other way. Flag is down for now, or was it? This is coming back. Get another offsides against OKC. I believe that's 3 now.
Yeah, Chavez trying to find Lopez.
Energy fans, the RMS first ball has been claimed. You'll have another
always
shot at our
taught
next
in the
comeback.
past by
So
Nene
be
Kubias,
ready.
Gerd Mueller, Johan Cruyff. Run parallel and then break. Let the ball guide you instead of the other way around.
Headed on, this is safely, should be, and it is over the end line as Cochran will take it on.
Very interesting that Daniels is floating underneath Velasquez. It comes at the left at times, goes to the right at times as well. Almost a second forward, whereas Luna pinches more in on that left side here and makes Daniels a very interesting player, both sides of the ball.
Numbers up for OKC, here they come. Flick on. An advantage was played, this is coming back for the free kick.
And Lopez is asking for a card there that early in the game will not happen. A little bit of a cynical foul, but
That was Hayden. Now Ward, through ball, good run, but Burt is there and makes the stop.
now Bird read that well. You know, you get the smaller Lopez against a lanky guy like Bird. Well done, because you read things quickly, Bird, and then good things will happen. Good defending.
Out of play, it's a throw into OKC.
Some of the greatest center backs in the world be PK. They're not physically capable of doing a lot of things anymore, but they're so fast with their head. Speed of thought.
Dunwell out to the left wing. Sending it on, Chavez just wide.
And that's why the combination of Chavez and Lopez is so good. You get the smaller penetration of the dribble. You get the strength of Chavez that's good in the air and can do it all. And anytime you can serve balls in there, it will be dangerous. First and second balls. Good ball in as well. Chavez coming from the weak side. Just getting the better there of Anderson. Or Cerebus, sorry, the left fullback.
0-0, 14 minutes in as we open up this USL Championship season. Both teams on the outside looking into the playoffs last year, trying to remedy things. Colorado Springs finishing last in the Western Conference. OKC Energy at 15th on 33 points. The big problem was their 5-6-6 record at home, trying to make this a bit more of a fortress in 2020.
And they split the spoil, so to speak. Both won 1-0 actually against each other. Problem for both teams is, you're right, not being able to score and also conceding in OKC's case even more so than the Colorado Springs Switchback.
Well, Cody Lorendi was the main starter in between the pipes for OKC last year, and he in fact had 105 saves, led all keepers in the USL. So not too sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing with the defense, but nonetheless, he had 105 saves.
Yeah, for a goalkeeper, maybe a good thing. You know, you put yourself in a window where somebody says, hey, wait a minute. I drafted Brett Guzan as the #1 pick for Chivas USA. Started as a rookie out of South Carolina. 2 years later, $1 million transfer to England. And yes, he had more saves than anybody else, gave up more goals than anybody else, but people recognize that this kid could play.
Now, of course, with Atlanta United.
Yep.
There's a through ball down the right side. Here's Daniels on the right side this time in front. Valesky, it's stopped and then back in. Valesky strikes his first of the season after 3 with Pittsburgh.
We talked about Valesky before the game. So good around the box. He's a proven goal scorer, both in college and on the professional level. A journeyman. But you know what? Just like Chavez, he knows how to find the back of the net. Good penetrating ball on that right side. We talked about Lewis being so instrumental, and Lewis is setting up his partner up front. Valesky, the initial save, and then the rebound. Staying with it like a good #9 does.
Ready there to pounce. And Valesky, first goal on the board for the Switchbacks. It comes on the road, and the assist to Daniels down the right side.
Man, that's really a tough one. Yeah, you look at Ward, you look at Hernandez. Lewis right now is playing as a false 9. And he's playing in between the lines, we call that, between the back 4, midfield 4. And if you don't drop and pick him up, he will be able to turn and pick people out, which he's done. He's so elusive, he can help you pressure right there, but then also provide a brilliant assist to Valesky. What a good start, by the way, on the road against a team that at home notoriously is tough to beat. Good crowd, tough place to play.
Out of play and off Ellis Hayden. It's really rough start so far for the Energy, as Colorado Springs showing they can put the press on, and then the counterattack, of course, leading to the goal. Now Harris working it around the back as OKC resets. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Good movement there to work it around the back to Lewis. Jumbo Mess leading the ball back to the Energy. Vasiljevic giving it back over, and Harris, a 6-year MLS player, will take it on over.
Just the organization, the discipline through almost 18 minutes for the Colorado Springs Switchback has been good. That's what preseason is all about. Working as a team towards a tactical plan, a philosophy, a playing style, of being hard to play against. That's always #1 that you put down as a coach. Secondly, how do we execute a press if we want to press? And if we can, how do we drop with numbers? Look at Lewis right there. Again, getting goal side. 10 players behind the ball, making it hard for the home team to get any kind of rhythm going.
Hernandez, the header on. It's intercepted immediately. Now Daniels back with it. He'll slow it on down. Here's Lewis, former Portmore United player. Tackle, no call. And we'll continue on here at Taft Stadium. Ward, the former Ottawa man, working around the back. Now Taravel, ball over the top. That's cleared.
And if OKC can break that first line of pressure, that means getting beyond Volesky, getting beyond Daniels, getting beyond Lewis a little bit, then you can get the Hernandez's, the Chavez's involved right now. That has not happened very often, with the exception of one good ball in that Chavez almost connected. I think going direct for I'm just saying that going direct and switching the point of attack, which John is doing right now, and his team, Pasquarella, might behoove them a little bit better, because it's tough to play through that pressure of the opponent. Colorado Springs switchback right now. And that's something you worked on as well. If plan A doesn't work, B maybe. Be a little bit more direct. We have a big body in Chavez up front. Get behind him. There you go, and stretch it back four.
Else Hayden goes down.
And maybe draw a foul.
No foul there, though, as it's chipped down the left side. Here's Luna. Vasiljevic essentially knocked on. Lopez losing it on the heavy touch. Now Ward. Taravel back to the left side. Now Stevenson. Ellis Hayden. Puts it on through. A nice touch. Lopez running on. And the stop in the end by Melvin.
Much better by OKC right now. The combination in midfield, 1 and 2 touches, playing vertical. And vertical means, you know, playing through lines right there with Ward. Then the turn, again a vertical pass, and good running off the ball by Lopez. Good goalkeeping by Melvin. Finally some fluidity in the attack for John Pasquarella.
Melvin knowing Alan Kosh from his time with the Whitecaps 2 squad back in 2016. Now Kosh naming him the starter here today as Frankie Lopez, after his first run really into the box there, and injured player down for Colorado Springs. Look at John Pasquarella, has made his way around MLS, including great successes with SKC as an assistant coach, the 2013 MLS Cup, and a 2-time Open Cup champion.
John is just good people. Both coaches are good people. I know John quite well. All his stints around MLS, obviously with Kansas City as the goalkeeper coach, around people like Peter Vermes. Those are great learning curves. Was at Des Moines as well. Got his teeth a little bit wet, and they said, you know what, this is yours this year. Let's build a winner here. Let's change a few things.
Winless in their final 8 matches of last season. Last win coming on August 24th in the stadium, and it's Lewis that, it seems he went for that challenge, got right back up and went down.
Yeah, there's contact with his own goalkeeper actually when he came out. Lewis trying to prevent, through a slide tackle, the ball going towards the goalkeeper. Contact in the lower back. Knee of a goalkeeper, your own goalkeeper, never good, but I expect Lewis to get back in this match. Tough guy, physically and mentally strong. First game, don't want to bail this early.
Melvin surveying the field after his save against Lopez.
Very interesting too, the contrasting styles. Lewis only has punted long, whereas OKC's really played out of the back each and every time. So a little more directness for Colorado Springs, and that's where the goal came from as well, and more of a deliberate build-up for OKC. Interesting how both coaches are dealing with that, and I understand that. On the road, let's go a little bit direct. Low pressure right now, maintain that 1-0 lead. And when we get the ball, goalkeeper, we get our lines up, we go deep, and we fight for first and second balls. Saying that, they're trying to build as well at this particular time. Both teams trying to play football. That's important for us, fans, and the people that are watching. we got some skill on display. Wow.
So far, up and down the field here in Taft Stadium. Here's Daniels. He had the assist on that Valesky goal.
Might sound a little crazy, but I found Clint Dempsey in 2002 and brought him to the Under-20 World Cup breakout with Eddie Johnson and Bobby Convey, Ricardo Clark and Chet Marshall. What a hell of a team that was. Mike McGee. And Daniels reminds me a little bit the way he runs of Clint Dempsey. A little bit off the cuff, longer hair, a little undisciplined because he's all over the shop. But wow, what an outlet he is. Doesn't come from Nacogdoches, Texas, though. That's where Clint Dempsey came from. Tough guy.
Daniels out of Scarborough, Ontario, a little bit different.
Well, but still Scarborough. That's not the favela of Canada, but that's a tough place. Just like Clint. I said, Clint, where did you play? I played with my older brother in the legal leagues. Played for Furman as a freshman. Nobody heard of him.
Now Colorado Springs enjoying some possession at the back. Again, our replays today presented by Dental Depot. This long ball again. This will settle back down. Stevenson miscommunication, and Valesky was almost there. It's Harris. 12-year MLS career across 6 different clubs.
Yeah, that midfield force done such a great job too. Lewis, Luna, Kurimato, that we haven't talked about, but it's been very influential, always pressing the captain. There he is, the experience of him, and the willingness to dig deep. Compactness is so important, forcing mistakes, keeping a team at one side, make them predictable. Those are all the things coaches talk about. Can we execute it? So far, so good.
Kurimoto, quite the pedigree from Japan. 4-time league champion, 2-time league MVP, and of course, along with that 4-time best 11 for the league for coming over with Fresno last year. And Alan Kosh telling us this week that really you can speak a different language, but a lot of things really translate over when you watch someone on the pitch or even communicate about the leadership of a squad, and he has shown that.
That's a universal language throughout the world.
Flicked on, Valesky.
Well, not offside, although Wally Harris is looking at the linesman and going, you know, that should have been offside. Well-timed run with another good through ball.
Almost a cheeky flick on, but in the end, it's back with OKC on defense here, 27 minutes in.
Yeah, you like to get Ward more involved. You like to get Hernandez more involved on the ball. They're number 10. Give OKC a lot of credit, but sorry, Colorado Springs Switchback a lot of credit. And OKC as well, that trying to execute a game plan of playing the ball on the ground, finding their people in midfield like they're doing right now, going from there.
Back heel there from Lopez, finds Vasiljevic. The top, and Chavez giving up the foul there.
Yeah, that's a big body. 2 big bodies colliding, Anderson and Chavez.
There's Lewis. Now Burt. Worked in and headed away. Kurimoto, the captain. Colorado Springs able to slow things down yet again, dictate possession. Quick turn. Libisi. Luna. Little through ball down the right side, and it's parried away in the end by Taravel. Taravel actually going down with a season-ending knee injury in week 3 last year after OKC put up 2 wins in the first 2 matches. He started both, and the organization very excited about, especially his youth play with the French national team, and his leadership shown in the French 2nd division, but Fortunately going down and back today to lead, as nearly breaking into the box was Anderson, but the pass is a little bit too ahead of the Rapids Academy products.
Great run, good ball in. Just the wind and the turf sometimes speeds up those. I've been there, and it's hard to judge sometimes, but the artificial turf gives it an extra bounce and gives you just not a chance to sometimes recover. Balls get away from you. And the wind again is right now obviously in Colorado Springs' favor. Really like Aiden Daniels, this kid in the ball right now here, 21 years old. Toronto FC graduate, actually, played for Toronto FC too, and was on loan to Fury, only 21 years old. He's been a major impact on this game, and that might be the only way to stop him.
A foul there, and Chavez pleading his case. This will come back for a free kick for the Switchbacks, already on top.
30 minutes in, and here we can see the replay again of Daniels. Yeah, that's late, a little cynical to make contact, to seek out the key guy of the opposing team. It's tactical fouling is part of the game sometimes. Maybe the only way to stop Daniels in this particular time. Interesting too, you look at statistics, almost 70-30, but in terms of chances and shots, it's in favor of the team on the road, Colorado Springs.
Just a talking to for now for Chavez, as Daniels is tended to by the trainer. The USL Championship returns to the ESPN family of networks in iconic fashion tonight. Two U.S. soccer legends collide when Landon Donovan and 2020 newcomers San Diego Loyal SC host Eric Winalda and the Las Vegas Lights tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN News. And that should be a fun one to kick things off here in the Western Conference, as we do right now with the OKC Energy fans here at Taft Stadium. Switchbacks in action. Last in the Western Conference last year, not looking like it so far, as the goal scorer over the ball along with Libisi.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You get a righty and a left-footed play, Lewis and Volesky. Who's gonna take that? Volesky said, you know what, let's go for it. Look for a rebound maybe. Well done, CJ Cochran, to hold on to that ball.
Cochran has given up the goal, but has 3 saves along with that. He's been peppered here a little bit too much early on for the Energy's liking. Right back, the ball goes to the Switchbacks.
Yeah, I would love to see Landon Donovan and Winalda making a comeback just like Tim Howard. How good would that be? Here we come. 94 World Cup team. Putting the U.S. on the map with Tony Meola in goal, with Eric Winalda on top. A little bit too young for Landon Donovan, but he might get the itch.
The yellow card is shown, and it's done while going down. And the card here did go against Lewis, his first booking in a USL uniform here in 2020.
Well handled by the referee too. Talking to Volesky understanding the explanation, respecting that decision as well. This game has been played fair, hard, but within the spirit of the game, and that's so important. Lewis back on the pitch.
So right now you look at OKC's offense, what do you think they need to do to get things going? It seems like they're stuck between, do we build up or go over the top?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Well, here we'll see if they can do it now. Lopez driving in, Enline keeps it in, and then it's knocked out. It's a corner kick coming for OKC Energy, brought to you by First Fidelity Bank.
that's something we talked about. You know, I mean, you can build and build and build, but as a back four or a block of 8, it's very easy if the speed of play is not the highest, which it did not mean, and easy to defend. There's the short corner.
Short corner. Vasiljevic giving it back over, flicked on towards goal. Lopez heads it down. It's a foul. And it may have been Chavez nearby that caused the contact. We'll have to take a look.
Right now, it's mostly through ball centrally that it's not hurt Colorado Springs, but it's given them some problems. Great save coming off the line earlier on. Here's that short corner, and yes, that's a foul by Lopez initially. I would like to see more width. I like to see Ward. I like to see Hernandez in wider positions, because if not, if you play narrow, we call that, it becomes easy for a back four to play narrow as well, because you know what, we're not going to get hurt width-wise. There's not too many crosses coming in, so let's get our numbers centrally and stop penetrating passes. And that's what's happened.
Well, Pasquarello told us he brought Chavez in, obviously for his goal-scoring prowess, but also to be that hold-up striker that at times when his offense needs more time up the field, he can hold it up. But here holding it up is Valesky. His shot blocked. And now Daniels almost getting to it. And Colorado Springs, that pressure again getting to the OKC defense. Daniels. Give and go over to Lewis. And now taken back. Hernandez moving it up to his teammate at LA Galaxy 2. It's Lopez. Getting through the traffic, takes a shot, and just skips wide. Frankie Lopez almost on the board.
That transition offense is so important in modern football. When numbers have gone forward and you lose balls in bad spots, let's put it that way, and now in transition, OKC can go forward and running at that back four, which has been pretty successful, beating for Chavez, but more so Lopez and Hernandez. That's when you put an opposing team on their back heels. In transition, at times, I think the team is looking more for possession than saying, you know what, can we look forward first? Always look forward first. If that's 30 yards, go 30 yards. If not 20, then we go sideways and backwards. It's more like, look, 90 could have turned there. Passive, going backwards, which fits perfectly for Colorado, becomes very predictable. That's the ball you want to see. With possession, higher up the pitch, and then out wide.
Daniels goes down, but a clean tackle there from Dunwell. Through ball is stopped by Burt.
And Burt, Anderson, Despy, Servus, they can squeeze now centrally.
Down the left side, Libisi, the South African, lays it off. The chance is scooped there by Cochran, and luckily for him, it was right at his body. Servos with the chance, the left back, and one of a few players now, you can say they've played in the United States from Andorra, 2 appearances for the Andorra national team.
Yeah, that's a little bit of difference. 1-0 up, 37th minute. Try to be cautious, but Servus makes that run. I would like to see Hayden and Stevenson without the ball getting higher positions. Force Ward and Hernandez maybe to play out to in, and then you get your numbers going forward. And with OKC, or with Colorado, really played with one high, and obviously Daniels underneath. You can play a 2 versus 1, and you can send your fullbacks because there's no wingers to contend with. You're running to their right midfielders.
And to your point, last year, that's one thing OKC liked to do with Kyle Highlands, who's on the bench here today. He was left back, but basically he was a left winger at times, way up high in the field. And Ellis Hayden, you can see he's frustrated. He's not able to get that high up so far.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You know, you look at teams around the world, be it Jordi Alba. I mean, I know it's Barcelona, or Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid, plays for the English national team. They're almost like right wingers, but their responsibility initially on the starting 11 is right or left fullback.
On back to Melvin, who gets his first touch in quite a while. Dunwell, Wake Forest product.
And we haven't really called his name. He's the holding midfielder. And you can play make from deep positions. You know, the deep lane playmaker, but he's not being involved in this game. He can switch the point of attack. He needs to be a focal point, not just breaking up plays, but also being more forceful in the attack.
Kurimoto, left side. Servos cutting in, but Vasiljevic the stop, and they'll try out the right wing. This will barely stay in play. It's Anderson, cross in, headed away by Teravel.
Well done, good touch for a tall, lanky center back or right back on that side right there. And look at that back four, Servus and Bird and Anderson. Despite, I mean, big guy, 6'1", 6'2", but comfortable on the ball, active, good in 1v1 situation, defending and giving you something going forward. I'm sure Alan Kosh is looking at this right now and saying, I'm pretty happy where I'm at. And yes, I'm on the road. We can experiment a little bit.
Kurimoto stuck in traffic. Pass done well and back with the all-white kit.
It's about providing angles and Dunwell just being on the same line.
Knocked ahead, but floats over Valesky, who has been a dangerous target so far in the number 9 kit.
Yeah, absolutely. He's kept both center backs really, Tavel and Harris at bay. And as I said again, Daniels underneath there. And Lebesi, Lewis, Luna, Rudy Motto in midfield have done a great job in both sides of the ball. Being direct when they have to, being hard when they need to, fouling at the appropriate time, part of the game. So destroying basically the rhythm of the home team. And they've been successful. I'm sure that John at halftime will try to figure out if within his starting 11 he can make some changes maybe. Go to a 3 up front, get some pace. Or in-game coaching becomes huge. What kind of decisions do coaches make?
Chavez to his left boot now, flies back to Dunwell. Ball's right through to Ellis Hayden, right side, deflected. So trickle out of play on the near side, but not enough for a corner.
You get Hayden in a higher position right there. Then a fullback has to make a decision. Do I stay with the runner? Do I check? Do I go? Where is Luna? Lost his mark, and all of a sudden we get numbers now going forward. It's a key of getting service and also winning first and second balls and getting a corner kick out of it and getting the crowd excited.
Second corner kick of the day for OKC, brought to you by First Fidelity Bank. Another opportunity for OKC just before the break. Stevenson coming over to take it. Overland Park, Kansas native. Went short the last time out. We'll see what they do here. Dunwell gets a header to it, but it's scooped away by Anderson. Ellis Hayden the only man back, but the ball rolls out. A throw in back the other way. Oklahoma City also last year, last in the Western Conference in shots taken, but with their amount of goals as well, led to a solid shot percentage. Unfortunately, didn't work into too many goals, 45, which was third fewest in the Western Conference. Vasiljevic, miscommunication with Lopez, was trying to give it off to him. Libisi showing off some footwork. Goes down the right flank, didn't get the through ball he wanted. Dispay, former Portland Timbers 2 player. Chip ball over the top, headed on by Chavez. Now Lopez trying to bring it down, scooped up. EBC, through ball. Valesky holding it up despite the contact, looking for help. And it took 5 OKC defenders to bring him down. Now Kurimoto. Switchbacks trying to strike before the break. Here's Burt. Chip over the top, good run. Servos on the run and line, trying to get the cross off, but way off target. It does stay in play though, with the help of Stevenson. And back out, throw in for Colorado Springs. We'll have a couple minutes of stoppage time here for you from Taft Stadium. 3 minutes on the board. Of course, presented by SSM Health, St. Anthony's of Oklahoma City.
A minimum of 3 minutes added to the first half.
Melvin strikes into this one down the left flank, and that will go out. OKC trying to get on the board and even before the break.
Of Energy FC. Seconds away at a moment's notice.
Ward
SSM Hill
over the top, good run by Lopez, but Melvin off his line gets there first.
Yeah, Melvin's red pin is really good. Once coming off his line, intervening, that 1v1, now again, and being composed. Again, getting his lines up, going long, knows it's almost halftime. Key right is no mistakes, going to the half, up 1-0.
Ward. Vasiljevic, but offsides was Lopez, and it's headed back over to Melvin. Melvin, native of British Columbia, does have 1 cap for Canada and a 2017 friendly against Bermuda. So scoop this one up, and already Colorado Springs playing a little mind games on the road, trying to get the 3 points. So if you're headed into this OKC locker room, how are you thinking about handling things with your squad? Are you changing a lot, or are you just...
No, you don't. I mean, it's 1 half. I think that John would like to see a little more energy, play a little quicker, and what I mean is speed of play is so important. They're too predictable, they're too easy to defend. Go a little bit more vertical at times, which might be direct, and finding Chavez and playing off him, similar to what actually Valesky and Daniels do as well. Daniels plays underneath there. It's always a 4-5-1 versus a 4-4-2, and they're struggling right now, that 4-man midfield, for getting any penetration of their fullbacks in higher positions, because loss of possession happens too early in order for them to get to those places. So John is a little bit in between right now. What do I do? I'm not going to get away from my philosophy, the way we want to play, the way we worked the whole preseason. But where can I hurt this team? Where do I find we need to get better? And I think you'll see an improved team in the second half. It sounds crazy, but I think the winds played a little bit of a factor in this as well.
Long ball down the right wing, and they'll find Ellis Hayden, flicks it on. Goes down, and it's back with Libisi over to Burt.
So much better. And now you can win second balls in better positions.
Hernandez on the run, it's headed away. His pay was there. Now Ward flicks it on, but the through ball is stopped. That'll bring us to the halftime whistle from Eric Tattersall, and 1-0 to the Switchbacks. Valesky with that second effort on the strike.
OKC Energy 0.
OKC Energy down at the half. We'll see if they can come back here with some adaptations or reinvigoration at a locker room with head coach John Pasquarella. But for now, Valesky, the 1 goal on the board, is first in his Switchbacks uniform. Momentarily, we'll be back, of course, with the Khalidi Kia halftime report. 1-0 Colorado Springs And OKC looking to regroup at home here at halftime, 1-0 to the roadside.
Goals are something we outline for ourselves, and oftentimes they can be pretty lofty. When things begin to line up the way we think they should, we appreciate those who helped us along the way, like the help you get with commercial banking from FFB. Our experts are ready to partner with you to help you manage cash flow, oversee accounts through online banking, and help you secure a business line of credit. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
You're about to witness a momentous occasion. Introducing the power of a better cloud, brought to you by Cox Business Cloud Solutions with rapid scale technology. And the migration is complete. IT professionals are thrilled because when seemingly nothing is happening, everything is happening. Introducing Cox Business Cloud Solutions with rapid scale technology, the power of a better cloud.
As a private contractor, I didn't realize contacting Okie 811 before digging was my responsibility. I know there are utility lines buried everywhere, and I understand that damaging these lines could be costly or have potentially devastating consequences. From small digging, even with a shovel, to bigger jobs, the contractor must contact Okie 811 and wait the required time for those lines to be marked before starting the work. For every job, big or small, start your project with one call and simply dial 811.
Welcome back. Energy with a 2-0 advantage. The 6th minute of action. Now would be a great time to announce the new healthcare partner of the OKC Energy. It's SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony. St. Anthony.
Welcome back here into Taft Stadium. OKC Energy down 1-0 at the break. Tonight's halftime is brought to you by Khalidi Kia. We are excited to announce the Khalidi Kia halftime show. Khalidi Kia isn't just any dealership. They're the #1 Kia dealership in Oklahoma. If anyone can get you the deal you deserve, it's your friends for life at Khalidi here at Taft Stadium. With this being the first week of the USL Championship season, let's see where some of the league's best players ended up during a busy offseason. We start with two big names leaving San Antonio FC as Billy Forbes moves up the road to Austin Bold FC, and veteran Guzman looks to bring his scoring touch to Hartford Athletic. A trio of changes in Pittsburgh. Most notable is Nico Brett, who heads south to Birmingham Legion FC, looking to make an impact outside of his adopted hometown. Maybe it's because of this performance right here, 4 goals against Birmingham in the 2019 playoffs. OKC Energy FC seems to benefit from the talent pool over at Fresno FC with a key forward and goalkeeper heading to the Sooner State. Don't forget Phoenix Rising FC, of course, making yet another splash, adding veteran Santi Moar. Staying in the desert, Las Vegas Lights FC loses striker Irvin Parra to expansion side San Diego Loyal SC. Taylor Mueller, who joined Charleston Battery way back in 2012, is packed up heading west to Tacoma Defiance. And finally, Lebo Moloto, an explosive player who didn't make the MLS jump with Nashville SC, looks to be a catalyst for the new and improved FC Tulsa in 2020. Those are just a few of the moves that were made this offseason. Time will tell what impact these players will have on their respective teams, but it should be a fun 10th season of USL Championship.
Come on, come on. Nice and tight here. Bring it in tighter. Nice and tight.
Everything we do matters. Very few people in the world ever get an opportunity like this.
We talked about making history, right? And what are you going to do to change history? When it's your turn to make a tackle, are you going to make that tackle? Are you going to score the goal? Are you going to make the save and throw a few miracles for us? Grab your freaking moments. That's my point.
Huge credit to every one of you. Massive performance coming on, the way that you press, and please for every one of you.
This is an awesome time, and we're going to show them that we're for real. We are for real because we all believe in each other, right? This is our moment. This is our moment to shine.
Every single day, guys, we have to fight to create our identity.
Take your moment within the games and make them your moments. Let's go out there and kick ass. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, what a job he is doing. Leo Fernandez tries to shake it up. Mendel Johnson trying to cross one in. Still alive in the box and scored!
Forbes turning on the speed.
Hey guys, how's it going? Kelsey Steele, Scott Stewart here from USL HQ in beautiful Tampa, Florida. How better to get this season going than laying out our top signings
to get a more advanced position on the field?
Sit in. It's Jimmy Oxford! What?
Gets himself from attacking the back four, gets that chance to bury it. That gives Earl Edwards Jr. absolutely no chance. Why? Because it's in the top corner. You're never going to have a chance. It's over the wall. It's the perfect.
Popped up more with the left. Oh! More with the second goal. He now has a brace.
Look at the touch there. That's Soler. Great ball over the top by Wehan. And then how about the shot here?
Welcome back here into our Kalidi Kia halftime report, getting set to look at news and notes from around the USL Championship in this opening weekend. And happy to have you with us here as we get the festivities going here in Taft Stadium. Again,
I feel that way a little bit. Seriously, I feel a little heavy today.
We're still in winter, technically, I guess. The new kids on the block, of course, San Diego Loyal SC in the spotlight on the ESPN family of networks later tonight, and the USL app. Love that app so far. You mentioned this before, Tim Howard, heard player coach, but not really sporting director.
Interesting fact, by the way, Tim Milqueen is the head coach of this team, and Tim Milqueen coached Tim Howard when he was 12 years old, all the way to Premier League. He said, Tim, please come back and play. And that's what Tim Howard did.
Help me out over here as Memphis tries to get into the playoffs here in 2020. Looking at the scoreboard from around the league so far, well, coming up in our action on Sunday, 4 matches slated as RGV and Los Dos battle. And of course, Wednesday action, San Diego Loyal SC back in there.
Rio Grande against the LA Galaxy 2. Out west, we got some battles. Unbelievable. We got one battle today that we're calling.
RGV, a really hot team towards the end of last season. We'll see if they can get that going again tomorrow at 7:30. And back here, as Thomas might join the gang on the field while we hit our next break. But coming up, we'll continue the Kalidi halftime show. OKC down 1-0, trying to remedy things as we get set for the second 45.
Tonight we are honoring STEM teachers.
You're about to witness a momentous occasion, introducing the power of a better cloud, brought to you by Cox Business Cloud Solutions with rapid scale technology. And the migration is complete. IT professionals are thrilled because when seemingly nothing is happening, everything is happening. Introducing Cox Business Cloud Solutions with rapid scale technology, the power of a better cloud. You're about to witness a momentous occasion. Introducing the power of a better cloud, brought to you by Cox Business Cloud Solutions with rapid scale technology. And the migration is complete. IT professionals are thrilled because when seemingly nothing is happening, everything is happening. Introducing Cox Business Cloud Solutions with rapid scale technology, the power of a better cloud.
As a private contractor, I didn't realize contacting Oki 811 before digging was my responsibility. I know there are utility lines buried everywhere, and I understand that damaging these lines could be costly or have potentially devastating consequences. From small digging, even with a shovel, to bigger jobs, the contractor must contact Oki 811 and wait the required time for those lines to be marked before starting the work. For every job, big or small, start your project with one call and simply dial 811.
I'd always wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. You know, how long is this gonna take? Am I too old to do this? What am I gonna look like with braces on? With payment options and everything else, nothing's hindering me now, I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
Welcome back here as we finish off our Kalidi Kia halftime show, and there is the winner here. And Thomas, unfortunately, not able to get in on the action as we check out our first half highlights presented by Gran Centenario Tequila. And so far, it's been mostly Colorado Springs. Valesky leading the charge, an early chance from Kurimoto.
Yeah, Kurimoto, great stepping up. They know exactly when to release each other. Great Lebanese and Kurimoto. Oh, you got my favorite player today, Daniels. Out wide, running at people, being able to go central as well. Good stop there by Cochran. But man, that one-on-one skill is just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, you mentioned it before, he's playing a little deeper all over the field, left and right. Lopez had a few chances, this time around serving it up as Ellis Hayden got one back in, but Chavez whiffing a bit as he sent it wide.
Yeah, anytime Hayden gets forward and either Chavez or Lopez can find him. Chavez would like to get this one back. Good sequence there, out wide, get a cross in and numbers in the box, or go far post to the big man, Chavez. That's a recipe for success that hasn't happened very often in that first half for the Energy.
And here comes Colorado Springs, and here's the moment. Daniels, your man.
Brilliant. We just talked about popped up on the left side, one-on-one, goes end line. Now he goes, you know what? I'm not going to go end line. I'm going to fight my buddy up front. That's my number 9, Valesky, yes. First attempt, good save, but stays with it. That's what the good number 9 does. Good instincts. 1-0 OKC.
His first in a Switchbacks uniform. OKC had their chances as Lopez really got in on the attack.
Yeah, transition is important for OKC. I think John is going to stretch that as well. When we win that ball, guys, let's play forward. Don't play possession just for the sake of possession, but have some purpose in our game.
And here's our first half stats, looking at the board, and so far so good for the Switchbacks. I mentioned it earlier. Cochran had to make a few saves out there beyond that one goal allowed.
Yeah, it certainly is. And interesting part there, almost 60 versus 40, but shots in favor of the Switchbacks as well. Possession with purpose. John Pascarella, that should happen in the second half.
That's what Alan Koch, the head coach of Colorado Springs, said to us this week, that really the pressure's on OKC. They're at home opener, and he likes it this way, being on the road early on where he's still tinkering with things, and so far so good for this young squad.
Yes, without a doubt, but there's the response. I remember my first game in MLS, which was 1996, and the head coach with Tampa Bay Mutiny. We're down 1-0 at the half, but in the second half, Carlos El Pibe Valderrama and Roy Lasser got us to 3 points. Can John Pascarella get his team motivated and playing the way he can? And is he daring enough to make some changes that could alter the game?
And you talk about top quality talent there, and maybe we'll see that some old faces really here for OKC on the bench. And they're still with the team. Rafael Garcia, Kyle Highland among many that could influence the second half, as it is OKC getting things going. Hernandez left side, looking for a cross on many targets. He'll give it off. Lopez the miss. Second opportunity, sailing into the stands. Vasiljevic was there.
That's how to break down a defense. Go end line, get balls cut back, and get good runs, hard, aggressive runs in the box. And funny as it sounds, but the wind might play a partner in this thing here. You can go a little bit more direct. You can get numbers there as well. Good execution, good start. That's what John Pasquarella is looking for. Get on the front foot, let's get back in this game, and let's get our crowd behind us.
Vasiljevic out of the Bronx, New York, quaking Melvin a bit in between the pipes, but it did go off target as we get things going in the second half. Again, I'm Chris Makovic, alongside me the former MLS champion, Coach Thomas Rongin, here from Taft Stadium. Here's Dunwell, and Dunwell, one player who had an eye on in the first half, maybe looking for a bit more from him here in the second 45.
Yeah, you like to, you know? I mean, and here you go. If you provide good angles like you do right here, you can be very much part of the build-up for this team right here. That hasn't happened in that first half. And you got to give Colorado Springs some kudos as well. They've made it a 5 versus 4 in midfield, with Daniels dropping in, doubling anybody in midfield, and then a poor technical player. I don't want to put Dunwell in that position, and you got to make quicker decisions. They've turned the ball over in bad spots, in my opinion, and might want to bypass that midfield time to time and play off the big boy, Chavez.
Offsides was on Chavez there as we get a restart. Servos will work it back. Through ball, here's Daniels.
So elusive, hard to defend. Hurt you so many different ways.
A flick on and in, headed away by Taravel, the Frenchman. And it's out for a throw-in for the Switchbacks. As Thomas mentioned earlier, both matchups last year between these two, the home team won 1-0. We're headed for that right now at this moment with the Valesky goal, the only one on the board. Lewis on back as the Switchbacks reset. Daniels, now Lewis. Former Vancouver Whitecaps draft pick. Sending it to the right side. Anderson deflected back off of Stevenson.
Good start by cautious team in that second half, composed in the ball, switching the ball, speed of play just a little higher than their opponent. It allows them to switch the point of attack, to maintain possession, to allow Daniels to drift pretty much wherever he wants to go, be a focal point, and somehow always be involved. You get the big men, we talked about that, the player to watch. Valesky up front, occupying, you know, 2 center backs. Wide players getting involved. You see the 2v1 right there. That's comfortable. I'll crush this. You know, we can handle that. Let a fullback step in a little bit. Maintain control of a numerical advantage in midfield with the numbers. And then get our big boy the ball.
Here's Daniels. Cutting through traffic, doing a great job around Stevenson. Daniels lays it off. Lewis skies it here at Taft Stadium.
Daniels is one of those players that I would have kicked. I wasn't a very good player, but I knew how to take care of, as some of the great players said to me, Thomas, you're not very good, but kick a few people, play the ball to me, and stand still. Then you do a good job for us. That's what I did. I was aggressive. Daniels is dancing around people right now. And we love it, by the way, as announcers, spectators. Those are players we like to see.
Through the feet of Anderson, Lopez quick throw in. Kurimoto back with it. To the captain, Atiba Harris. Vasiljevic over the top. Lopez the only one there.
Normally in games like this, early doors, early in the season, the real tests really are around the 60th, 65, 70th minute, and that's where I think John, if they're down, Pasquarella will have to make some changes to alter the rhythm, to alter something within this game. Not enough opportunities.
Lewis, interception in the midfield, through ball left side. Here comes Daniels. Center backs do get back for OKC.
Yeah, out of bounds. There's a real game plan too, you know, on throw-ins, they stay high to make it hard for the opposing team, the home team at this particular time, to play through pressure, not to win second balls as they do here, and they can restart and recircle and start the attack again.
Burt letting that go out. It's a throw in again for OKC. Oh, Vasiljevic was trying to get the ball. Ellis Hayden giving it up on that throw in. Right side now with the 22 in white, Anderson. BC. There's Ward. Take it right back by Anderson. This pay goes down and a foul is called. Might be more than that as well for Ward.
And that's a frustration foul. He's turned the ball over twice just before halftime, and this is a tackle of a frustrated player that hasn't found his own groove yet with the ball and tries to now impose himself in a physical way.
Ladies and gentlemen,
good call by the referee and deserved yellow card.
Charlie Ward, 52nd.
Charlie Ward into the books here in 2020. The 54th minute as Dispay went down, but back on his feet. Fans follow OKC Energy and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+. Up to USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the nearly 8 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Knocked back, Chavez now a bit on the run. Pressure from Korimoto slows it up. Now Ward. Putting down the angle was Korimoto as Lewis was in pursuit. Done well. Stevenson. Long one down the field, and Melvin will welcome that every time. It's out for a goal kick. And OKC still can't get that prime chance inside the box. Done well. Back on through to Cochran in his first start in an OKC uniform in a few years. Miranda's in a tough spot to throw in now for OKC.
And they're trying to establish a little bit of a rhythm. We talk about patterns of play that you go through pretty much every practice based on your philosophy you want to play. And it seems like that OKC is struggling with any kind of patterns of play. And you can detect that Colorado Springs switchback have patterns of play. That's up, back, and out wide. It's getting, obviously, Daniels involved.
Handball there as Harris went up the field. It's back to the switchbacks.
And, you know, I think that should be the other way around. You know, play Chavez higher. Let obviously Lopez play underneath, and then your two center backs on the opposing team have to make a decision, or they got to move and pass him on their holding midfielder, and now we can play in between lines. It's a little bit too predictable, and that's why they can't penetrate. Always good pressure there. They squeeze. It's a tight field already. This is one of the smaller fields in the USL, which favors a team that's organized and can press. And then you need a little bit more invention and creativity in smaller areas. It seems like that's lacking, especially centrally with Dunwell, Ward. Even Hernandez has not been an impact. And then you got to upset the apple cart sometimes as a head coach and make the tough decisions that are in favor of your team. Lazy foul right there by
Lopez goes down. Dispay, they're trying to wave it off, but
look at those big bodies there. Dispay is a big boy, good in the ball. Anderson is Serva's bird.
Set piece here for OKC. See what they can make of it. Stevenson on the ball. They'll loop it in there, right side. Hit it down and in! OKC evens the scoreline.
Is it the big boy? Is it Chavez? Is it Lopez? One of the two front runners. We talked about being more direct. We talked about getting servers in the box. This is just what the doctor ordered. And it's their captain, Atiba Harris, that understands what it's like to be in the 18-yard box and scoring goals from his deep position and showing what a captain is all about and pulling his team back into this game on this set piece. Good ball in by Stevenson. Good pace. Great attack by Atiba Harris. One of the best in the business in the air. A glancing header, that's enough. Not pretty, but you know what? Sometimes get back into games ugly. Make this game ugly because I think that will favor OKC.
That OKC goal brought to you by Atiba Harris and Cox Business. OKC back on the attack. Hernandez losing it on the heavy touch. Atiba Harris had 2 tallies last year, his first of 2020, and it evens up the scoreline. One apiece here between the switchbacks and the energy. Flicked on. This will hang up enough to stay in play. Still alive, cuts back over Lopez! And the tip save in the end by Melvin. Chavez. Lewis goes down. There's a foul against Hernandez.
Wow, has this game turned OKC more aggressive in this second half in all phases of the game, playing quicker, being faster in terms of closing down, turning balls over, getting behind that back four. What a good save that was.
You can just feel the energy now pick up at Taft Stadium. Here's the chance again.
And Lopez would like to get that back, but you know what? Give Melvin some credit. What a good outstretched save that was to keep his team at 1-1. And now the test becomes for Alan Kosh. How will his team respond? Keep your discipline. Keep playing the way we are. Tighten things up a little bit.
Despite being up 1-0 at the half, it didn't seem like the switchbacks were letting off the gas at all in the second half, so We'll see if they do change anything. There's Pay, service into the box. Left side. Thought it was off target, but there's a runner. Down he goes. No foul. Ellis Hayden with the contact. Oh, Ward, there's a nifty back heel, but it's taken back by Lewis. Open room down the lane, trying to get a through ball going maybe, but the foul is on Chavez.
That bad turnover in midfield forces Chavez actually to track back as an honest player will do and then give up the foul so Lewis can get off that shot, but you got Labisi, that's great at set pieces. You got Daniels that knows how to perform as well. Get that wall organized, get the big boys in there like Wally Harris.
A yellow card to OKC Energy number 9, Jaime Chavez.
Stevenson,
62nd.
Chavez.
Chavez in the books with that one. Taking a look on the Dental Depot replay.
And the correct fouls as well.
Prime position here, just like OKC on the other end, here in the 62nd.
And these are rehearsed depth ball situations you've gone through in your 4, 5, or 6 weeks of preseason that you've worked on. Do we have a step over? Do we go direct? Do we curl this ball over the wall? Do we go for the big boy far post? I get a feeling right here that Daniels is going to try to bend this baby, or sorry, yeah, Daniels around the wall. It's perfect for a right footer.
BBC the strike and the save by Cochran. Right at him, luckily for the OKC keeper. I mean, Labisi in his career in the South African First Division had 24 goals. Maybe a threat to watch for here in the USL. Chip in, Kurimoto headed away by the goal scorer Harris.
Good response by Pasquarella's team in the second half.
Flicked in, cleared by Harris.
Let's defend well. Let's get back in this game. Let's get the home team. Doesn't matter how. Set piece will take it.
A free kick again.
Yeah, sometimes players go to the strong side, we call that. You know, the wall is on one side, protecting obviously the goal. A lot of players choose to go over the wall and go near post. Chose to go hard and strong. The goalkeeper's strong side became a pretty good, easy save for Cochran.
Cochran, one of 4 players that were on that 2017 squad for OKC that made the run to the conference final, along with Lorendi, his fellow keeper, Kyle Highland, and Jonathan Brown on the bench, of course, for today.
There's some pedigree in OKC, there's no doubt about it. Team that's disappointed obviously the last few years and then wants to get back on track again. Never easy that first game. Never easy with 4 or 5 changes, which both teams have, and try to find some cohesion. It's different beating Denver University 1-0 than really playing in a big game in USL Championship, with all due respect to Denver University, but different level, different game, different intensity. All part of the learning process for both coaches and finding out about their players under duress, who can perform and who can't. While you're doing that, let's hope we can win some games.
Colorado Springs in the preseason going through the Wasatch Winter Cup, of course, that including Union Omaha of USL League One, along with the defending champions and also defending runner-ups in Louisville City. Defending champions, of course, Real Monarchs SLC. A tough gauntlet. They weren't able to get a win out of it, but tested the squad, and Alan Kosh saying out of that it really was all about trying to create chances. He didn't like that too much. They worked on it, and he felt pleased with it entering the season. And so far, so good with Daniels and Valesky at the top, now trying to find one to put them back on top. Taken back by OKC. That's the left flank. Here's Hernandez.
Hernandez has given him a little bit more width in that second half. And Lopez continues to make those good darting runs of Chavez. I would like for Chavez to be a little more mobile and get more involved as well. As a big man, he's got good feet. And the press is a little bit higher up the field right now. Well done.
Good steal there. Ellis Hayden trying to give it off. He's chopped down. Shot comes from Ward and it sails wide. OKC really wanted a card there late as the challenge came in from Lewis on Ellis Hayden. He's already in the book, so might be adding there to the argument.
Yeah, there were some late fouls, and the referee allowed this to go on because possession stayed obviously with the home team, and there's the late foul, but you let it play on because there's a good shot on target. Both sides probably could have argued for a foul going either way. John not happy with it.
Any coach,
JP.
Any coach would love to have a red card in your favor there. Especially in your home debut.
Absolutely. I used to work those fourth officials all the time, you know. Try to get in their heads. Try to get them to maybe throw something out there towards the referee. Sometimes you pat them on the back, sometimes you're tough. It's another tactical thing. Trying to get a referee on your side. How do you do that? And Carlos Valderrama was one of the best in the world. Praise him when they like to get praised. Be a little tough where you need to be tough, and you'd be surprised how referees as human beings might go your way. Got a tactical dilemma that coaches deal with. Some do it better than others.
Bit more tempo in OKC as they get the momentum in their wings here. 1-1 on the scoreline here in the 68th.
That's been overall just a great game. Some good chances. Maybe a little bit more in favor of Colorado Springs Switchback, but good tackles in midfield. It's been a hard game. A game with mutual respect and a game with some talented players going at each other. Well coached.
BC cuts back. Top of the box, but a little bit behind Lewis. Now Anderson. Anderson stepping up, losing it out of play. It's back to OKC. Energy fans, be sure to participate in your True Sky Credit Union Man of the Match voting following the final whistle. Find the poll on Energy FC Twitter and vote for your True Sky Credit Union Man of the Match. True Sky Credit Union, where you truly belong. Knocked down, and OKC moving the troops up the field. Lopez almost breaking free, and Hernandez nearly following him. Goes out back to the Switchbacks. Both teams not making the playoffs last year, but certainly off to the right foot here. Great energy back and forth, cross in, and chips it over there with a chance. Valesky wanting that brace.
Yeah, gives a thumbs up. What a great ball. Good run as well. This one was not easy. Gets that little bounce going. Gonna take that on the half volley, leaning backwards, which means the ball will go up. If he could just align his body a little bit better and get his upper body over the ball, and then the technique with the inside of his foot, you'll hit the target. That's all you want to do from that distance.
Out of play, back to the energy. BC gets it back on the interception, looking for the cross. Puts it in, a low one, knocked on, and Dunwell nearly sending it at his own keeper. He ups it away, though, after the miscue. Now Hernandez. Vasiljevic sending it along. Lopez can't get there, and it's out for a goal kick.
And I don't mind that. You know, in order to stretch a team, sometimes you got to go over the top. Let them turn and face their own goalkeeper. Then you come and play underneath. You want to destroy the compactness of this very well-drilled Colorado Springs switchback team, and that's one way of doing it. It's not necessarily the execution is great, but a back four might drop and anticipate that through ball, and instead you go underneath to your number 10 and play make from there.
Here comes Colorado Springs. Daniels, through ball down the left side. Here's Luna up against Harris. Back to the top, Servos puts it in, knocked back. Else Hayden was there. Kurimoto, the captain, now Lewis. Luna chips it in, and there's a stop by the captain of OKC and Harris. Chavez trying to turn, but taken down by his former teammate, Kurimoto, and there's a foul. Notice out of play, I believe, for the throw-in. Will be Servos to take it. Stay up to date with news and highlights from across the USL Championship and League One by downloading the official league app today. Search United Soccer League in the App Store or in Google Play, and download today to enjoy news, giveaways, competitions, and more. Daniels on the attack, knocks it on. Valesky, the chance into the side netting.
Good chemistry between those two players throughout this game right now. The timing of the run, the pass, obviously that first goal in the first half. The assist by Daniels, early ball in, back post, a poacher's approach, and this one just a little diagonal ball, getting behind Atiba Harris. Just couldn't get it on frame.
Over the top on the run, a big stop by Dispay. It's a corner kick for OKC Energy.
Yeah, anticipated well by gaining ground on Lopez, who had a breakaway right there. And the directness in the second half that we've talked about. It's not about style points. It's trying to get back in this game, which they've done. Now, can they win this? And conversely, what does Alan Kosh do with about 15 minutes left? Is he going to say, I'm happy with a tie in the road? Am I taking a forward out and bringing in a defender? Or do we go for the win, actually? Interesting 15 minutes to come.
Here's the Loves corner kick. Headed back the other way, and this will stay on this end with OKC.
Good response by John Pasquarella's team in that second half. Team stepped it up a little bit more, not necessarily playing a lot better, but there's more energy, there's more craft, there's a better mentality right now. The battles, small battles are won. Long throw.
Chavez heads it on, Kurimoto now. A foul is called on the contact on the leap. It's back to Colorado Springs as we prepare for a substitution.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
And it will be
OKC Energy
Ray
substitution.
Sorry coming on in place of Charlie Ward, 19 appearances with Sacramento last season.
Replacing him is number 25, Ray Sorry. Energy FC substitution in the 75th minute.
Substitution brought to you by Okie 811 as Cato also coming on for Hernandez, beefing up that wing a bit, is the former San Jose Earthquake.
Yeah, I like what Pasquarella's done here. Proactive. Cato is a guy that has proven in the past that he can play, adding more energy. Tired legs, first game. Nobody's really game sharp yet. These last 15 minutes is all about digging deep and staying emotionally in tune, smart, but also tactically still executing what you want to do as a team. I'm sure that Cato's gotten some instructions from Pasquarella to where to attack and where can we be dangerous, and he feels that right side is something they can exploit. Conversely, their left side.
Cato, 3 goals, 4 assists in his 30 appearances last year. 31 career caps for Trinidad and Tobago national team. Stuck in the corner is Luna. Knocked back. Vasiljevic laying it off. He'll win the throw-in as well.
And he's a difference maker. I was the head scout of the U.S. national team. Fortunately, we didn't make it to the World Cup, so we all got fired. But Bruce Arena trusted me to go and watch teams play, and I saw Cato quite often with TNT during his qualifying phase. Interesting player, hot and cold, but when he's on, he's dangerous.
Working this left wing now. Asari moving up ahead. Lopez losing the ball on the tackle from Luna. Down goes Servos.
Energy fans, look to the video board for tonight's winning 50-50 raffle number. If you have this ticket, make sure you visit the guest services table immediately. This number is also available at energyfc.com/5050.
Add a play back to OKC.
Please
Zealous
look to the
Hater
video
will
board
take
to see
it.
if you are a 50-50 raffle
Safe
winner
digging is
tonight.
no accident. Simply dial 811 to get utility lines in your yard marked so you can avoid potential injury and expense. It's a free service, so just do it. Energy FC would like to thank Oki 811 for being a sponsor of Energy FC. Shot comes and trickles in. Was it an own goal? It might have been, as Stevenson was there. Nonetheless, Switchbacks on top.
Luna just does well getting on that outside. The dribble penetration pops up out of nowhere. Takes a chance by just going hard across the body of the goal. Battle one, Volosky involved. Luna getting his first touch, getting around Atiba Harris. And I'm just getting that, is there a deflection, yes or no, or does he just go straight far post? I think that's a pretty clean strike. Side netting, far post, beating Cochran. And man, what an opportune time for Luna just to get on the board after John Pasquarella made 2 changes to his lineup. Forced the hand. Interesting to see what Alan Koch will do in return. Sit on his lead, make some changes, fresher legs. I say so far so good. Trust that starting 11.
So great momentum for OKC, but that might be now what Colorado Springs needed after really they were under attack for a majority of the last 20 minutes. Luna, his first strike as a USL player and his 9th career goal as a professional. Daniels over the top. Ellis Hayden will go after this one. Out of play, it's a throw-in. No subs yet for the Switchbacks. Under Alan Koch. 2 for OKC in the last few minutes as this comes back for a free kick.
Yeah, now the urgency for the home team is certainly there to get back on the scoring board. You got to force numbers forward. You got to take some risk. You got to play 1v1 in the back. The onus on the home team to force something. Offsides.
Once again on OKC, that has been an issue tonight. As we'll have a final substitution presented by Oki 811. And it will be Jonathan Brown coming on for Frank Lopez. Brown, 1 goal in 18 appearances last year after coming over from Hartford Athletic.
Yeah, interesting pedigree. Started at Cardiff City, Southport, Hereford United, Wrexham on loan, and then gets to Hartford Athletics, and now OKC Energy. 29-year-old Wales international. We get him from all over the world.
We did get confirmation now that Stevenson has been awarded an own goal for that last strike from the Switchbacks on the final deflection. OKC out of the back. Colorado Springs getting set to make their first substitution of tonight's action.
This has been a well-played game. Both teams going at each other. Clearly, Colorado Springs having the better in the first half. OKC getting back into this game and at set piece with Atiba Harris. An own goal now making the difference.
Colorado Springs last year, they finished last in the Western Conference. They had one road victory, and what a way it would be to start this 2020 campaign if they're able to get one here. Now Chavez the strike, but point blank at Melvin, and he makes the save. Another look here on the Dental Depot replay.
Brings that down well, the big man. It can strike balls left and right. Angled is very tough, and it becomes a pretty routine save for Melvin, who's been very good on the day. 2 key saves to keep his team into it. Cochran also outstanding. Own goal right now, the difference between these two teams have gone toe-to-toe. Stats very similar in terms of shots and possession, but favored a little bit more Colorado Springs in the first half. There's a substitution, you're right, the first one.
The Oki 8-1-1 substitution is doing on for Luna, who caused that own goal. Last action as Luna is guided off the field. Dewing coming in after 16 appearances for Colorado Springs last year, joined the team halfway through the 2019 campaign. Former Air Force man in college.
Yeah, that's pretty much same for same in terms of positions. Dewing likes to go forward to that left side as well. It's got good energy. It's not that Alan Koch says, you know what, we're going to sit in this lead, let me take an attacker out and put a defender in. So that's I like that too, like for like. Sometimes coaches tend to tinker or overthink things too much. Koch seems to keep it simple, and that means simplicity translates to players understanding what needs to be achieved.
Anderson, except for the throw-in. Now Daniels.
He finds ways to get out of tough spots with people traipsing all over him. He's not the most athletic. He's not the cleanest always in the ball, but he gets the job done in midfield.
Top down from behind, quick restart, done well, stepping up. Vasiljevic. Essentially, Cato strikes, blocked by Burke. Now Harris. And skied away on the clearance by the Switchbacks. On the run is Bolesky, but getting there first is the center back Taravel. OKC trying to cling to hope on that even score line. Seemed like they had the momentum, but Colorado Springs getting a lucky bounce. Now in control on the road.
The shift that's been put in by those two front runners, unbelievable, with and without the ball. Daniels, Bolesky. Bolesky's done, by the way. Wouldn't surprise me if Alan Koch is going to make a change there.
There's Harris stepping up. Cato, back to Harris. But can't get there in time, it's a goal kick.
And artificial turf is really weird to figure out, but the ball does speed up, and as players, you don't really have that understanding. A lot of balls do tend to run out of bounds or out of play, and the goalkeeper will milk this in terms of time of the clock.
Energy FC would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony for being the official healthcare partner and team doctors for the Energy FC. SSM Health St. Anthony's support on the sidelines and in the community is unmatched. For 121 years, SSM Health St. Anthony has been ready to help and heal patients across OKC. Foul here is going down as done well, and OKC gets back possession. Harris over to Taravel. About 4 minutes remaining, plus stoppage time. Vasiljevic knocked it ahead. Brown after it, but not enough pressure there in time against Burt. Melvin sends it into the night here in Oklahoma City. There's the header on. Here comes Cato. Trying to cut around, but Servo's there, and he'll clear it. Taravel. Ellis Hayden goes down, and Daniels the challenge, and it is a free kick.
You might as well get your big boys in the box again. Atiba Harris. Chavez. Hold your line. That's important. Goalkeeper wants to get everything inside the 80-yard box. Stay with runners. Stay alert on second phase attacks as well. If you don't win this.
Ball floated in off his line as Melvin punches it away. Now Cato trying to keep the attack going. He takes a tumble, goes out, and off of him, throw-in switchbacks. And we will see Valesky come off in our next Okie 8-1-1 substitution. And coming on is Mamadi Kamara, the native of Montreal, and went to Simon Fraser University, NCAA Division II, and actually where Alan Kosh used to be the head coach years ago.
Simon Fraser, Division II powerhouse for many, many years. I coached Nova Southeastern when we were still NIA, and I became Division II and played against Simon Fraser quite a few times. Tremendous program. Produced some great players.
Lewis trying to keep it alive. Down the left wing. And Dispay guides it away from Chavez. Anderson gets us going again. 1 minute plus stoppage time for OKC to equalize. Daniels, and it's cleared. Tiba Harris and Taravel hanging out at midfield. Now Kamara, the fresh legs up there to pounce on the balls.
Excellent play. Get it in the corner, stand on it, chew up time, get a throw in a corner, anything. Maintaining possession. Winning second balls, as they do right here. Well coached. Both teams well coached. Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Just see this game out.
Out of play, and just like that, back to OKC Energy. We will have a bit of stoppage time. 4 minutes here on the board in Taft Stadium, presented by SSM Health, St. Anthony's of Oklahoma City.
Extra time is brought to you by SSM Health, St. Anthony, proud healthcare partner of Energy FC.
Harris downfield, on the run is Brown. Left side towards the box. Brown looking up, sends a cross in. Not much there, now Lewis will clear it. Just a throw in though, as now the Switchbacks bunker in. Over the top, knocked back over. Handball appeals, but Servos will clear. Vasiljevic cuts it in, back post, punched away by Melvin, throwing on the far side.
Melvin has been outstanding the last few minutes. Brave of his line and the set piece, brave again in his open play cross.
Substitution for Colorado Springs FC.
So comfortable for a back four to know that your goalkeeper is willing to come off his line and get to balls. Parrying them out wide for throw-ins, hold on to them, not giving up rebounds. Your line can be a little bit higher, confidence will grow, communication is there. Look at that there, look at that. That's a leader.
Argueta on for Lewis in the Oki 8-1-1 substitution. Chavez, quick turn. Was there a deflection? And it is a corner kick in favor of OKC. Chavez is down meanwhile. Corner kick presented by Loves. Is this the opportunity for OKC to level things? Back post headed away. Dispay coming to the rescue. It's a throw-in for OKC.
Yeah, they've been fearless on first and second balls. They've conceded, though, on a set piece, and this long throw is a set piece as well. Stay alert. Attack the box, though, in order to get that equalizer.
Stevenson deflected, and Melvin will pick it up. Done well. Taravel, pressure on him from Kamari, gets it off. And there is the offsides flag for yet another time tonight.
Yes, Chavez has been lazy from that standpoint. There's no reason why he and Lopez have both been in those situations as well. Just checking his shoulder, watching the line. This is 30 seconds of the clock in favor of Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and goalkeeper will take that. Send your lines up, battle for first and second balls, and that's probably all she wrote.
Seconds ticking away. Cochran will grab it. Maybe one final chance for OKC. Headed on, foul is called, and a free kick just outside of the box. A yellow card to Dispay, and this will be the final chance for OKC to go home with a point here at Taft Stadium.
Fireworks celebration immediately following the match.
Three-man wall for the Switchbacks.
I still think you want to look for a tee by Harris here. Brown has taken this. Passive offsides there if you don't move. Very interesting set piece here.
Brown strikes it towards goal. It's a big save there by Melvin. Maybe saving 3 points as well. And indeed, that was the final kick of the match. Melvin and Colorado Springs head home with 3 points.
Switchbacks FC 2.
Excellent game. Started the season for both teams. Long way to go. OKC not happy, not winning their first game at home, but John Pascarella can look at his team and say, I've got something to build on. Alan Kosh on the other side, very happy and pleased with the performance of his team. Executed the game plan, got a fortunate goal, an own goal to get these 3 valuable points on the road to start the season. What a fun game this was. Enjoyable to do it with you, by the way.
Up and down the field, and funny enough, the Switchbacks won road victory last year,
wow.
And they get one on day one here. Maybe a new era, really, getting things started today for Alan Kosh. Coming up after our break, of course, we'll finish things off with full match highlights and stats from Taft Stadium. Colorado Springs taking the 3 points on the road, 2-1 over OKC Energy. We'll be right back.
Success is achieved through hard work, and many business owners work tirelessly for years to realize the dream of franchising their business. FFB partners with companies of all sizes every day and offers an extensive variety of treasury services. FFB will outline a plan just for you, help you streamline cash flow, and monitor your business transactions. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB, we go where you go.
Welcome back. Energy with a 2-0 advantage. The 6th minute of action. Now would be a great time to announce the new healthcare partner of the OKC Energy. It's SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony.
I'd always wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. You know, how long is this going to take? Am I too old to do this? What am I going to look like with braces on? With payment options and everything else, nothing's hindering me now. I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
Welcome back here at Taft Stadium. Final score 2-1 in favor of the Switchbacks. That final score presented by SSM Health St. Anthony's of Oklahoma City. Man of the match tonight presented by True Sky Credit Union, going to the goal scorer of OKC Energy. Leveled it at the time, the captain, Atiba Harris.
Yeah, well deserved by Atiba. Played well defensively, losing the game on his own goal, but really was an inspiration to get this team back to 1-1, as you said. Well deserved. Man of the match. As
we check out now, our full-time highlights presented by First Fidelity Bank. Not too many fireworks early on for OKC. It was Colorado Springs and Daniels that got it going.
Yeah, you absolutely right. Daniels, we talked about it. You know, that 1-2 punch up front. We weren't sure that first game, but they connected. Daniels, the number 9, that second attempt, that killer instinct to get his team on the road up 1-0.
Valesky opening up his account here in 2020. In OKC, they would get their opportunities as the match went on. Missed a few chances early on, but here, the chance really did come.
Yeah, it did come. And Atiba Harris, we talked about the man of the match for the home team, equaling at 1-1 to get his home team back in the game. And a happy John Pascarella and the Energy.
But it would be the Switchbacks. It would be the last to respond. Luna down the left side.
That's unfortunate. We talked about the own goal. It is an own goal by Stevenson. Far post, 2-1, the final tally on the road, 3 points.
And now our full-time stats presented by Loves. And you can see at halftime, it was 6 shots on target for Switchbacks. Offense wasn't as sharp in the second half, but they got it done on the road and a scrappy match. They go home with 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the offsides there, that 6 really stands out. The lack of discipline of both Chavez and Lopez up front. That's something John Pascarella's team needs to work on.
Yeah, now OKC Energy back to the drawing board, still winless in USL play now. for 9 straight regular season matches. Switchbacks starting off on the right foot with 3 points on the table. Great start to the USL Championship season. 2-1 in favor of the Switchbacks. Energy back in action next week at Reno, while Switchbacks will be facing San Antonio in their home opener. For our entire crew alongside me, Thomas Rongen, I'm Chris Makoviak. Have a great night, everybody, and enjoy the rest of the weekend of USL Championship Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League